Hello everyone, and welcome to my Season 13 Azir build guide. If you don't know, I'm Reaper, a Grandmaster Azir one trick from the North American server. Today I'm going to show you all of the Azir playstyles that I'm aware of, and give my personal opinion on what the best ones currently are. To start off with, if you just want to climb elo as fast as possible, and you don't care about the rest of the guide, we will start off with, in my opinion, the best rune/build combination that you should just take every game. Conker is simply just the best Azir rune currently in my opinion. It gives you a ton of damage, is actually the best rune in lane phase, and scales insanely hard with the DPS build. You can just take this rune every single game, and probably actually should if you're purely focused on only climbing. For your starting items, generally in 95% of games, Doran's 2 potions is best. But if you are in a heavy poke lane like Xerath, Corrupting Pot can be very good if not essential. On your first base, you really want to try to greed for Lost Chapter if you can, so this item solves all of Azir's issues and makes him a massive lane bully. If you can't get Lost Chapter, Amp Tone plus Dark Seal is also fine. You can also buy boots if you're in a heavy skill shot matchup. 90% of games, I buy Refillable Potion, as it just helps me bully my opponent and play fast paced how I like to play. Lastly, if you're in a heavy poke matchup, rushing Mercs can really help you survive the lane phase and scale up to late game. Generally, we really want to rush our Mythic out as fast as possible. We really want to avoid delaying it too much, as Azir is one of the strongest one-item spikers in the entire game. The 3 viable Mythics are Liandry, Ludens, and Crown. Liandry is your staple and should be built in 95% of games, as it's just simply the best AP Mythic for Azir. Ludens used to be taken very often, but I currently don't see a point in ever building this item. You can experiment in your own games, but I personally never build this anymore. Crown is the most overbought item I have ever seen on this champion. I will look at an Azir player who built this in an incorrect game, and they will have blocked 800 damage in a 30-minute game of League. If you're going to build this in the wrong game, at that point just go Everfrost. At least you get a nice active. Crown does have uses though. If you roll that 5% game where no one can pop your crown, you will essentially just auto-win and become God. But please stop buying this item so horribly, it lowers your damage by an insane amount. After your core, if you can, you really want to build Rabadon, as this will make your damage simply overpowered. If the enemy is stacking a lot of MR, buy a Void Staff. If there are a bunch of melees, Rylai's can actually be deceptively good. Be very careful in buying defensive items in games that you don't need them, as they can lower your damage by an insane amount, but please don't throw games, and if you really do need it, pick one up that's best for your current situation. Now that we covered what I think is the best build, let's move on to other variations that are perfectly viable that I have seen others play with great success. Starting with Arie Conker into stacking defensive items. This build is quite popular in Korea and really just tries to maximize Azir's playmaking capabilities. It will be quite a shock playing with such low attack speed at first, and I don't recommend this to new Azir players, but this is actually really good if you're competent at the champion. Your damage will definitely suffer, but you can make up for this with your unrivaled self-peel and utility. Next, we have Halo Blades with the Burst setup. Burst before the rework was by far the best style to play Azir in, but now DPS reigns king once again. This kind of build is still perfectly viable, but I just think it's simply worse than DPS, so I don't really ever take it anymore. Lastly, let's go over Chapter into Nasher's Tooth. This is really quite good paired with something like Conqueror, but the issue is how long it delays your spike in solo queue. The reward is getting the biggest power spike possible once you complete your Nasher. If you want to go this, sit on the dagger and buy the AP components first, as the recurve bow is god-awful item on Azir. That's all for my current Season 13 Azir build guide. If you think I missed anything, leave it in the comments below and I'll put the answer as soon as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it clears some confusion on Azir's builds and where he stands. One more note, when this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start working on a full-length Azir guide going in depth on everything I know about this champion, so I hope you guys look forward to that. Anyways, have a great rest of your day.